All right, this is the breaking news that we're now sharing with you. This is a statement that's come in from the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, a leader in the MP Congress. He's used apparently derogatory words against the Brahmin community. Now, the BJP is hit out already at the Congress. They're asking it what their Bharat Jodo Yatra is all about. Remember, the Congress is currently having their Bharat Jodo Yatra from the south to the north. You can see the BJP roping that in their reply. But very quickly, let's try to understand what the original statement also was. First, I'll take you to what KK Mishra had to say. Then we'll connect with a colleague for more details.
किसका ब्राह्मण उसकी चमचेगिरी करते हैं.
Okay, let's go over to my colleague, our senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh, for more context here. Pallavi, we played out a bite of what KK Mishra had to say, but it was censored, so I'm not sure how much our audience really got from it. If you could very quickly tell our audiences, obviously, with the most sensitive language possible, what it is that this Neta said, and then what the controversy around his comments are, please.
So first of all, KK Mishra is not any big-ticket Madhya Pradesh leader, but the point remains is that any kind of a derogatory against a community and a caste slur is something which doesn't go down well. It's also a violation of our constitutional norms. So we'll have to wait to see whether the BJP just takes that step ahead. But for the BJP, this becomes yet another day when they hit back at Rahul Gandhi and his Bharat Jodo Yatra. If you remember, the whole idea of the Bharat Jodo Yatra is that everyone is one, no disrespect shown to anybody, and also everyone should be seen equally no matter which race, caste or which region or religion they belong to. When you hear these kind of comments coming in from the Congress leadership or from the Congress party in any state, it certainly gives that handle to the BJP to start questioning the entire idea of a Bharat Jodo Yatra and the politics of Rahul Gandhi.
Pallavi, stay with us for a second. Shehzad Poonawalla is with us. I'll go over to him in a second. I just want to check with you, Pallavi. Have we had any apologies from the Congress since this comment was first made? When was it made? All right, we'll try to check in with Pallavi to get those details. Right now, we have the BJP spokesperson, Shehzad Poonawalla. He's with us this morning on the show. Let's go over to him to understand what the BJP's reaction on this story is. Shehzad?
You see, this is not Bharat Jodo. This is Nafrat Jodo Yatra of Congress Party. And therefore, on the one hand, you have Rahul Gandhi sitting with George the Hater, who abused Hindus, who abused Bharat Mata. And now congressmen themselves are abusing Hindus and Brahmins. And ironically, this party claims to be a party of Janidhari Hindus. It claims to be a party of Rahul Gandhi, who is a Dattatreya Brahmin. But this kind of language is unacceptable. On the one hand, you do appeasement politics, and on the other hand, you're constantly abusing Hindus, whether it's Hindutva is like ISIS, whether it's calling Hindu terror, saffron terror, whether it's opposing the Ram Mandir, or now abusing Hindus and the Brahmin community. Rahul Gandhi should come out and answer whether this is the message of his so-called Bharat Jodo. If not, then what action will he take on KK Mishra? Because KK Mishra is the chief of the Madhya Pradesh Congress media department, and he is sticking by his comments, and he's saying that whatever comments I've made are absolutely correct. So because of this, lakhs and lakhs of people are offended, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi must come out and explain whether he subscribes to these views.
Can I also ask you, Shehzad, your point right now that you've had KK Mishra sort of stick to what he had to say. He hasn't come out and made an apology. If he were to make an apology for the BJP, would that be enough?
No, Rahul Gandhi should tell us that if such a person who abuses Hindus and the Brahmin community, if he merely apologizes, is it enough for Rahul Gandhi? Will he continue as business as usual? Or will he want that action be taken at the party level against him?
All right. Okay. Shehzad Poonawalla, thank you so much for bringing us context and what the BJP's reaction has been on this entire story. This is a breaking news story we're bringing you right now. A Madhya Pradesh Congress leader making that comment, and then obviously the political reaction that has come in because of it. We'll try to connect with Pallavi Ghosh, my colleague, once again to try to bring you more details on what political reactions to this entire story have been. Remember, the Congress is currently on their Bharat Jodo Yatra. It's a yatra that Congress leaders led by Rahul Gandhi have undertaken. They're going from Kanyakumari up to Kashmir. It's supposed to be spread across 5 months. Now, the idea of the yatra is to protest against multiple things. One, of course, is that of the rising issue of unemployment, price inflation, the usual issues that we see Congress raise claims against. But what is particularly noteworthy is that this is the first such yatra that you're seeing the Congress undertake at this scale since independence. It's also the first time in the last 3 decades that you've had a major leader try to do a cross-country march like this. All right, it's time for a short break. We'll see you in just a few minutes with more of the country's top stories. Right before we